I'm blown, let me flex this. If it's something on your mind, recline and check this. I'm smooth, not reckless, we can get high and ride from shy to Texas. Give a game up since came up, blew my name up. Check out the rhythm, make them all wanna flame up. Truck a man to a lighter and listen to a young rider. On the side of pimp over tree.
Hey yo, what's going on YouTube? Hey, this your boy IceWatt815, man. I just want to come at y'all with a little quick video. Y'all can see what I got going on here, man. I got my little electrical equipment out. I put in this deck for my homie and his Freightliner, right? Nice little Pioneer deck. Everything was cool, but after I put the deck in, he was telling me that his gauges, I can't even move his steering wheel down. He was telling me that his water temperature gauge, his oil pressure gauge, his tack gauge, the little, you can't even see that, can you? The little digital display here, and his fuel gauge wasn't working no more. And I'm like, man, that ain't had nothing to do with me putting the deck in. So if that wasn't working, it probably wasn't working before. I ain't really checked. He claimed it was, but anyway, whatever the case may be, I told him I'd come back and check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing something for free, so I really didn't want to have to come back in here a second time. But make a long story short, or all right, to make a long story longer, I said, man, I'm gonna check it out for my man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I did do something wrong. So what I found is, let's get over to this fuse box. Oh, sorry about that finger being in the way. I ain't used to moving around making videos. I got over to the fuse box. It's this fuse. It's called hopefully y'all can see what it's called. It's called INST cluster. What I noticed was that fuse was blown. It's a little 10 amp mini fuse. So then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, maybe when I was putting the deck in, it's this yellow wire that's supposed to have constant power to it that's hooked up to those gauges in the dash. Maybe when I cut that yellow wire, I blew this fuse. And I did notice that the yellow wire coming from the truck didn't have no power to it. So I took the yellow wire from the deck and I ran it to another power source. So once I realized that this number 10 fuse was blown, I replaced this fuse and all this gauges started working. I got my test light out, which is right here. A little cheap test light. It ain't really nothing. $4-5 test light. Tested that wire that was dead before, realized that it had power. So I'm like, I must have blew the fuse. So I replaced the fuse and rewired everything right. But what I'm gonna say to you is, if you putting your deck in, I would encourage you to take this fuse out. It's a number 10 fuse. It's called the instrument cluster fuse. It's right above, hopefully you can see that. It's right above the utility light or whatever fuse. So take that fuse out while you working on the wires inside the dash, and you shouldn't have no problems, man. This your boy IceWatt815, man. Just giving you a little tip in case y'all want to put a nice little deck in there. All right, man. Remember, it don't matter what type of truck you drive, as long as it'll deliver a load. But you ain't gonna make no money in trucking if you can't keep that left door closed. I gotta get cleaned up and get out of here, man. Y'all be safe.